Good evening, everyone. Please take your seats. We'll be starting in just a moment. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Piqued. Piqued is a Piqued is a meetup for electronic musicians and enthusiasts. I'm your MC, Corey Luna. On AV is Rich Hogben. We are hosted at Supply Frame in San Francisco. Tonight we feature Clark Harding and HEXMODE. Each artist will play 15 to 20 minutes of music, and afterwards we will have a Q&A session with each artist. We are streaming live on YouTube, so later on you can actually watch it later on, and if you look up Supply Frame FM channel, you can find it there, and later on we'll have the audio on my podcast, North Beats. So please bring your hands together and welcome Clark Harding to the stage. Oh, wait. Clark Harding is going to take a break. Please welcome HEXMODE. HEXMODE, everyone.
Hey, what's up? Sorry, I never know how long that goes, so I should put a timer.
That's okay. You did pretty good.
Oh, thanks.
So, Junaid, thanks again for coming out and playing for Piqued today.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. This is sick. Thanks for this setup here. Thanks for everyone for coming. Super cool to have people appreciate this music. I know it's like a little repetitive sometimes, but like, you know, it's groovy. At least I try to make it groovy. So you to sort of kind of lose yourself in it. That's the goal.
I think we all did.
Sweet. That's the goal.
Successful, man. So tell me a little bit about how you got into playing electronic music.
Like going to raves. Yeah, just like, you know, going to raves and then just being like, this is, it just, you know, electronic music for me, it's therapeutic, especially this style of music. It's like very, you know, it is therapeutic. You really lose yourself. You kind of lose track of time. I probably went over, as you probably heard, but yeah, I mean, I've always loved technology and toys and knobs, as you can see. Kind of got obsessed now, and yeah, I never really played. I tried playing piano. I sucked at it, and I was like, "There's got to be something I can do here." And then, yeah, someone invented fixed scales, and I can just play anything, and it sounds good. So, amazing.
Tell me a little bit about your setup tonight. What kind of modules are you using over here?
Yeah, so a bunch of modules. My set it's quite linear. A lot of modular Eurorack stuff. People are actually doing a lot of modulation on their stuff. I'm not really doing that much modulation on mine. I'm trying to keep it like somewhat, you know, not too static, but I have a sampler that plays all the drums. So I use this Piqued Pro to trigger all the drums. You can see them being triggered right now. I have some drum patterns already pre-made in there, but I usually add on as the set goes and just kind of build things up and break things down. Then I have a bunch of different oscillators, i.e. synthesizers, up here in the top row. And there's a submixer here on the right side, so I actually fade in and out between the different synth voices. So my goal here is to like make it like a DJ set, frankly, where, you know, it's like one song to the next by pulling elements in, bringing elements back, you know, cutting out the bass line at the right time, and, you know, with techno as well, it's a lot about the drums. So I'm trying to pull the drums in and out where it sort of makes sense, have like pseudo drops, so to speak, which is quite tough with modular, because with a drop, there's a lot happening with any drop, right, in a song. There's so many build-ups, there's a ton of shit happening. So with modular, it's a little bit tough, so I do a lot of it with just kind of more, do it with the drums. And so I have a lot of oscillators, a lot of drums, I have 2 sequencers, I have this running one sequence, this running another sequence, and this running a few triggers. And yeah, just kind of alternate between them.
Really cool, man. Yeah, as someone who I don't play techno, so to me this is really fascinating to hear how you're describing doing like a bass drop with modular, which is, I guess, not really how it's usually done.
Yeah, no, it's because I wish I had like 6 hands. Like you literally need like multiple hands to do a drop, right? Like I've had like a partner with me, we could do like 6 drops. But I can do like, you know, semi-drops. But yeah, it's a little bit, it's tougher with modular, but you got to be quick. I'm trying to be as fast as possible with some of these transitions. I used to DJ a lot, so I sort of know how song structure works, and I produce as well. So I sort of know like, okay, if I pull this snare here, or I have this one knob here, for example, just doing snares, you know. This one. Yeah, this is a snare rolls, right? So snare roll, everyone loves a snare roll. So have one dedicated knob to a snare roll. I have one dedicated knob to just like 16 hi-hats to just keep that like, you know, the high. that thing. So that's just like one knob, and this module is called the grids, where it's a density knob. So it's like, here, let me just mute this. So the more I turn it, the more dense it gets. And if I have it like halfway, I can just, these white knobs change the sort of pattern of it. So, you get somewhat unique patterns. One other trick that I do to try to keep it interesting is to, I have like one switch, which I can change drum kits on the fly. So how I do that, let's just play this, for example. Sorry. Okay. Now I press one button. Yeah, so the kick drum stays the same, but the hi-hats and other stuff change. So that way I can like change drum kits, which makes it feel like a new song, right? When you hear new drums, you're like, oh, this is a new song. And so that way I can have the bass line kind of going and then change the drum kit and then take out the bass line and bring in a new bass line. They're like, oh, cool, new song. So that's sort of the goal with this, is to try to make like pseudo songs.
I see what you mean. You're taking, with those different drum kits, you're making it fluid so that you're going from one kit to one kit while still having that maintained bass line.
Correct, yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, so I can change the bass line by, I have 6 oscillators, so I have like 6 synthesizers, so I can kind of mutate between them. Yeah, just try to keep it interesting and do some crazy stuff sometimes. This one module up here, this shapeshifter, I bought this specifically. A lot of modular, it's like, all right, you turn a few knobs, you have like a patch, right? And so like, where those knobs are is the sound of the synth. With my style, I essentially needed presets because I want to switch from one bass line to the next. So this shapeshifter, I can just, it's a digital oscillator. So I have there's like 100 presets in there. So I can actually switch between the presets from one song to the next. But still do modulation on them.
Very cool, man. Do we have any questions from the audience about HEXMODE's performance tonight?
I was just wondering if the drums on your sampler, are those something you've sampled, or where do they come from?
Yeah, I just, so I produce as well, so I just got like Techno Sample Pack 24, and just like put in my favorite ones. And I've also created the way, the reason I can do this like drum kit switching on the fly, each sample is actually like 16 like snare samples, or like 25 hi-hats. And the bitbox is great because with one button, it randomly picks a slice. And so the drum kit, I have like infinite drum kits basically each time. And so I can just keep pressing like, oh, sounds terrible, sounds crap. Oh, this sounds dope, that way. Yeah.
That's pretty neat. Do we have any other more questions from the audience? Oh, hold on a second. Let me get Evan over here.
So you have a bunch of digital stuff going on, and it has a sound to it that is digital, which is great. But like, I was curious how you work with that in modular, like, because I assume you have at least some analog stuff going on as well, and like making them sit together, like processing different things with different analog modules or digital modules, or like how do you make those sort of sit together and cohere?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. It's basically like 50-50 analog and digital here. A lot of the oscillators, you're right, are digital, right? So at least I have like 6 oscillators, like 3 of them are digital. Sitting together, I run everything through an analog channel strip that warms it up, thickens everything up. I think that's maybe the cheat. But with analog oscillators, you get those crazy spikes, right? Like in volume and just dynamics. I actually have a compressor at the end, just tame everything down. So that's also another way of just, otherwise it's just too. I mean, you know how it is. It's just too crazy sometimes. I'm trying to keep it like a little bit consistent. So the dynamics in mine are probably not as wild as some other folks because I have this like compressor at the end.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
You said that you do drops or semi-drops where it makes sense. Can you expand on that? What does that mean to you?
It's just by feel, right? It's just like, okay, I'm very sensitive to like things getting repetitive. But obviously this is techno, it's repetitive, but there's a point where it's still fun, and then it's like, dude, like, change the fucking song, like, you know. So after going to a lot of shows and seeing shitty DJs, and I'm just like, he needs to change this goddamn song. So like, I think it's like burned inside me of like, people are getting bored. Switch it up. One trick is to cut out the low end on the kick. So it's like, this is your standard kick, right? You hear me? I do a lot of like that. So that is like, you're cutting out the low end of the kick, but you still have the high end. So people know, oh, the bass line is still there. And then, you have your stuff or whatever. That's like an easy way of, but yeah, it's just by feel, just knowing when to stop.
Janae, where can we find your music online?
Facebook, yeah. So my Facebook page, HEXMODE. I also have a YouTube channel that I started doing like home studio sessions. Took me fucking forever to like figure out the lighting and filming. Film editing sucks, by the way. Film editing is just the worst. It's so hard.
I can help you if you need it.
Oh, you're good at it? Dude,
Yeah.
I hate it so much. Yeah, so please help me. So I started editing these videos. I do like a top-down similar to this, and then I have just like a side view, and I just alternate between the cameras. So I'm just trying to do more of these like home sets, and then live sets like this. But yeah, Facebook or YouTube.
Excellent. Thank you, man.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Excellent,
everyone.
everybody. We're going to take a short break. We're going to reset one of the cameras here and get ready for Clark Harding. So take a break, grab a drink, and we'll see you back in a few minutes.